Hi, my name is Sully and welcome back to my channel. Today we're discussing my anticipated releases for 2025. There are 25 books on this list. No, there are actually 26 because I just found out about a release that I'm super excited about, like literal moments before filming this video. So there were actually exactly 25 by pure coincidence, but there was one more that had to be added because I'm very excited about it, and I'll tell you what it is once we get started. But grab a cozy beverage, sit back, relax, and let's chat about exciting books that are coming out this year. I cannot wait for some of these releases. Some of these are huge releases, other ones are ones that I'm intrigued by, that I'm excited about. So let's talk. First up, I have A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. This is one that I'm super excited about, and I'm actually going to be reading this with my book club that I started with Jade from Jade Juniper. Book club is Dragons and Draconathon, and we read dragon books every 2 months. So I'm super excited about this one. This one takes place in London, 1923. And the synopsis is: dragons soar through the skies and protests erupt on the streets. But Vivian Featherswallow isn't worried. She's going to follow the rules, get an internship studying dragon languages, and make sure her little sister never has to risk growing up third class. By midnight, Vivian has started a civil war. This one comes out January 7th, and it is already out by the time you are seeing this video. I specifically want to get the UK edition of this book because it is so much more beautiful than the US edition. So I am ordering it from Blackwell's in the UK, and I cannot wait. Next up is another January 7th release, and this one is The Starlight Heir by Maui Howard. The synopsis for this one is: this story draws from Indian and Persian mythology and introduces a new epic heroine, Soraya Sab, who happens to be the realm's greatest blacksmith. When Soraya is invited to the court, a romance and intrigue ensue. This one sounds amazing. I can't wait to read this. I think I might have gotten a copy of this in one of my book boxes. I'm not sure. I need to double check. On January 14th, we have Watermoon by Samantha Soto Yambao. This tells a story of a Tokyo pawn shop where visitors can sell their regrets and bad choices. When a mysterious visitor passes through, the new owner, Hana Isakawa, undertakes a dreamlike journey through the cosmos. Think of it as a cozy fantasy with a mystery center. I am so excited for this. This sounds absolutely fascinating. I love the idea of a mystical pawn shop where you can sell your regrets. That's so cool, and it kind of gives a similar vibe to that one time travel tea shop book, When the Coffee Gets Cold, right? That kind of similar vibe where it's a specific shop where you go for a specific kind of experience. Love that. Cannot wait to read it. Last for the January releases, we have on January 28th, Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. I loved Hannah Bonham Young's Out on a Limb. I read one of her other books, enjoyed that one, and have another one of hers that I really want to read that I currently own and will be reading very soon. But this one I'm so excited for. So this is about Sarah and Caleb. So Sarah is what you would call an indoorsy type. So when she and Caleb, her husband of 17 years, set out on a couples therapy wilderness hike, there's no guarantee of success on any level. This is a romantic comedy featuring outdoor hijinks, high school sweethearts, and rough patches, both figurative and otherwise. This is basically about a couple who have been together for 17 years and they've come to kind of a crossroads in their relationship. They are trying to decide if they want to stay together and if they can work through this rough patch that they're experiencing. So they decide to go on this couples therapy wilderness hike. And we'll see what happens. But it sounds so good, and I trust Hannah Bonham Young with this kind of wonderful romance. In February, we have one release, and this is one of the biggest releases of the entire year for me. This is happening very soon, in like 2 weeks, and I'm so excited. On February 11th, we are getting First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. B.K. Borison is the author of the Love Light Farm series, and this is the first book of hers that is outside of that universe. I have loved every single book by her, and I still need to read the last book in the Love Light Farm series because I've been holding off because I'm scared for it to end, but now we have a new book coming out this year and maybe a second book coming out this year. We'll talk about that one soon. But this is about a hopeless romantic who meets a jaded radio host, and this is inspired by Sleepless in Seattle. I cannot wait. Also, it takes place in Baltimore. I love Baltimore. I live near Baltimore. This is very exciting. Cannot wait for this release. Now we have the book that changed this list from 25 anticipated releases to 26, because on March 4th, Amal El-Mohtar comes out with a new book, and Amal El-Mohtar is the co-author of This Is How You Lose the Time War, which is one of my favorite books of all time. Fantastic novel, absolutely amazing. It's super short and it's possibly my favorite book of all time. And Amal El-Mohtar is finally coming out with another book. This is a queer romance novella. So, this is The River Has Roots. Follow the river Liss to the small town of Thistleford on the edge of Faerie and meet two sisters who cannot be separated even in death. There they tend and harvest the enchanted willows and honor an ancient compact to sing to them in thanks for their magic. None more devotedly than the family's latest daughters, Esther and Isabel, who cherish each other as much as they cherish the ancient trees. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for this novella. On March 18th, we have Sunrise at the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. So this is another book set in the Hunger Games universe by Suzanne Collins. This one I'm very excited about. I wasn't so excited about Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I ended up DNFing Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I didn't even get really that far into the book. It just wasn't really my vibe. This book I have been waiting for the past 16 years, maybe, probably a little bit less, but let's say 16 years just for extra drama. So rewind to the morning of the 50th annual Hunger Games. It seems a familiar fellow by the name of Hamish Abernathy has been selected to compete in a diabolical new arena where everything is venomous, poisonous, contagious, or otherwise unpleasant. So I don't know if you remember, in 2011 there was a short film by Mainstay Pro on YouTube called Hunger Games: The Second Quarter Quell, starring James Gaisford. I was obsessed with this. This is a cinematic masterpiece. It's 12 minutes long and it captures a moment when Hamish is in the second quarter quell in the 50th Hunger Games. It's amazing. And I fear that the actual story from the actual author and then the following movie will not live up to this amazing fan-made film on YouTube. It is what it is. Anyways, continuing on. On March 18th, we have Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. This is a nonfiction all about tuberculosis. John and Hank Green have been raising funds to fight tuberculosis for quite a while now, and this is John's nonfiction dive into it. So this is drilling down through centuries of scientific, medical, and social history. John Green tracks the wreckage of tuberculosis, the world's deadliest but curable disease. It's the curable part that lingers, and John asks some uncomfortable questions about injustice and inequity in global healthcare. Cannot wait for this one. I feel that goes without saying. I mean, obviously I'm talking about my anticipated releases, so I am beyond excited for every single one of these. On April 1st, we have Gifted and Talented by Livy Blake. This is the story of three siblings who, upon the death of their father, are forced to reckon with their long festering rivalries, dangerous abilities, and the crushing weight of all their unrealized adolescent potential. I have only actually technically read The Atlas 6 by Livy Blake. I own, I think, the second book in that series and another one that Olivia Blake wrote, and I really enjoyed The Atlas 6. I've heard some mixed things about the other books in that series, but I really enjoyed the writing and the plot of that one, so I am going to read the other Olivia Blake books I have before I buy this one, obviously. But I'm really still looking forward to this, and the plot sounds fascinating. The cover, of course, is gorgeous, so I can't wait. Another April 1st release is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I have read every single book and short story that Abby Jimenez has written, and I will read every other one afterwards. The synopsis for this one is, if there's one thing better than a handsome veterinarian, it's a handsome veterinarian with a cute kitten. That's what Samantha always says, so when her date goes pretty much flawlessly, she's tempted to leave it at that, a perfect memory of the ultimate pleasant evening. But fate marches forward, so they end up having this beautiful, amazing date, but things don't work out. And that's all I really want to know, because it's Abby Jimenez. So I trust in Abby, and I cannot wait to read the next one by her. On April 8th, we have The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. This is a spellbinding romantasy with magic and adventure, where a young woman reignites the embers of an ancient prophecy, unleashing a storm that could save her realm or doom them all. Fear of magic plagues war-torn Wivn. I don't know. Halflings like Rhea Fleetwood are killed on sight by Rhea. But Rhea's execution is interrupted by an unexpected savior, one far more terrifying than her would-be killers. The mysterious and mercenary Commander Scythe. In the clutches of this new enemy, Rhea finds herself fighting for her life in the barren reaches of the Northlands. Yet the further she gets from home, the more she learns that nothing is as it seems. Not her fearsome captor, nor the blight that ravages her dying realm. Not even herself. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. I'm in. Another April 8th release is House of Blight by Maxine M. Martineau. This is an eerie, darkly creative, and romantic new gothic fantasy duology. Adira is a threadmender. She holds a rare, life-saving power that can cure disease and heal injuries in the blink of an eye. But magic always comes with a cost, and saving anyone sacrifices a sliver of her own life. She's always kept her abilities hidden until the powerful Fernglove family discovers her secret. It sounds magical, it sounds enticing. I really don't know what the heck's going on with that synopsis, but I'm intrigued and I want to read it. On April 22nd, we have another major release, which is Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life. This is a romance in which two writers are in competition and maybe in love. Rookie author Alice Scott hopes to write the book of the year, but she'll have to deal with industry legend Hayden Anderson, since they've both been invited to stay in a gorgeous mansion for a month, and negotiations should be hot. So I believe this is about two authors who are basically in competition to write the biography of this legendary woman, and they're both invited to her mansion, and they have to compete to see who will have the honor of writing this biography. On May 2nd, we have Digging Dr. Jones by Olivia Jackson. This is a spicy adventure rom-com and basically is inspired by Indiana Jones. So a surprise gift is exactly what Adriana Jones, come on, needs to improve her vacation, and a bracelet with gems will do the trick. Except once it's on, she's faced with two. The bracelet is actually meant for Andrew Jones, a renowned and utterly gorgeous archaeologist. It will not come off no matter how hard she tries, and then they have to go on some kind of exciting adventure. I'm in. I'm in. Oh, then on May 13th, we have Main Characters by Hannah Orenstein. This is a love letter to lake life and is known as the Parent Trap for adults. This is a story of two half-sisters who meet for the first time at their father's cabin in Maine after his unexpected death. Sounds amazing. I'm in. Another May 13th release is Angie Kills a King by Evan Lakeham. This is about an unlikely assassin who struggles to escape a legendary bounty hunter in a breakneck fantasy debut that will grab you by the throat. Sold. I'm in. May 20th, we have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is about Sybil, who's a diviner, cloistered since childhood to receive visions from the otherworldly entities known as omens. When her fellow seers start to vanish mysteriously, Sybil teams up with the knight Roderick, a heretic but an uncommonly handsome one. This is a gothic approach to a romantasy tale and has moonlight cathedrals and the occasional smoldering gaze. I'm here for it. I haven't read much romantasy as it is such a new classification of genre. I think I've read a lot of romantasy in the past, but since books are newly being classified as romantasy, basically just fantasy romances, I'm new to the new classification of it, so we'll see. And the last one that we have for May, on May 20th again, is The Memory Collectors by Deet Meserve, or D.T. Meserve. A miraculous new tech company, Eon Expeditions, enables people to revisit their past, but just for an hour and just as an observer. That's the plan anyways. In this novel, it is a perfect blend of mystery, plotting with sci-fi conjecture, and some interesting thoughts about causality. I love anything time travel-esque, and honestly, I forgot that this book was on this list, and now that I'm rereading the synopsis, I'm even more excited about it because I completely forgot that this was here. On June 3rd, we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, another major release that I'm so excited about. And this is set in the ambitious days of the 1980s space shuttle program. Done. This promises adventure, romance, intrigue, and a physics professor determined to be one of the first female scientists in space. NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, circa 1984, should be a fantastic setting for this author's patented technique of high drama and interesting places. I have loved every single book by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I have read every single book by her except one. I still need to finish the tennis one. Carrie Soto is Back. I still need to finish that one. Besides for that, I have read every single backlist title and every new release by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I trust in Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I cannot wait for this one. Another June 3rd release is Battle of the Bookstores by Ali Brady. This is a rivalry between two bookstore managers who are opposites in every single way, and they're basically managing bookstores on the exact same street next to each other. One is focused on serious literature, the other one is focused on romance. But then the new owner of both stores decides to combine them, and the two are thrust into direct competition where only one of them will be the last manager standing. And that will be decided by whoever turns the greatest profit over the summer. Sounds like it is rife for both rivalry and romance. Another June 3rd release is Fallen Gods by Rachel Van Dyken. This is a Norse mythology-based book. So the legends of the past are never truly dead and buried. Liv Olson has been drawn to Norse mythology her entire life. After earning her degree and working as a curator at one of New York's most prestigious museums, she gets an unexpected offer for her dream job in Norway, the same place her brother disappeared months ago, after a cryptic message about finding their long-lost father. Sold. Then on June 17th, we have The Mercy Makers by Tessa Gratton. So this is about a talented heretic who must decide between the pursuit of forbidden magic or the ecstasy of forbidden love. Either way, her choice will upend the world in the start of a sweeping romantic epic fantasy trilogy. I'm here for it. You have my attention. On June 24th, we have Finders Keepers by Sarah Adler. This is about two estranged best friends that find a long-abandoned treasure hunt might be the key to a fresh start for both their future and their feelings. Cute little treasure hunting romance. Sounds good. I will probably gobble it up. Another major release. See, when I tell you that this year is just blossoming with major releases that I'm excited about, this is what I mean. On July 15th, we have The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This is about three women in three different eras who encounter danger and witchcraft in an eerie, multi-generational horror saga. I will rarely read a horror book. I don't like horror, I don't like thrillers, I don't like scary books. if Silvia Moreno Garcia is writing them, I will be there. I will be sat and I will read the whole thing. I absolutely love her writing. On August 28th, we have Calabasas by R.F. Kuang. This is about two rival PhD students at Cambridge who descended to hell to rescue the soul of their academic advisor. They really need those recommendation letters, apparently. And it's a love story. And as a fun fact, Calabasas is the Greek term for the classic descent into the underworld. I enjoyed R.F. Kuang's Babel. I really enjoyed the overall plot and the narrative. I didn't feel as connected to the characters. I feel like there could have just been more personality in the people on the page. So I'm really excited to read this one and hopefully feel maybe more connected to the personas on the page. But I absolutely love her writing and her world building, so I can't wait for this one. And then last of all, on October 7th, we have another B.K. Borison release. It's a treat of a year. This is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison, and this is a whimsical holiday romance with a magical twist. This involves the ghost of Christmas past. So that is all that they have released about that one so far, and that's fine because regardless of what this book was about, I would be reading it, and I'm so excited. So those are all of the books that I am so excited for this year. I'm sure that there's going to be many more that I find out and hear about that I'm so excited to read, especially as the year goes on, since there are so many later 2025 releases that haven't been announced yet. So please tell me what books you're most looking forward to reading this year, what books of my list you're looking forward to reading, or books that I have not mentioned that I maybe don't even know about. So please let me know what you're excited to read for this year, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye!